And welcome back, game two. Um, Sorry about the delay, but we are getting right into game two. I had to reboot OBS as I was having some internet trouble. I'm getting green everything. We should have great speeds. So we are ready to go. We are going to Cursed Hollow as the map will reflect, picked by Tricky Gooses. And we're about to get right into it. So thank you if you are back. Um, I greatly appreciate it. I've never hit just strange internet speeds like that before where I was at 7 up and like 8 megabytes down as opposed to the normal like 150, 150. But we're going with a ban on Samuru immediately from Tiny Dancers, and I just want to update. And Garrosh banned out once again. So seen similar bans already. Abathur banned out. Okay, well now, mark my words, we've changed a little bit. And we have last ban here coming up for the Gooses. And Lucio banned out, so they felt sound barrier was just too much to handle. And now we're going to see a Johanna first pick. So again, thank you everyone for coming back. Sorry about the internet trouble. I'm reading green on OBS and excellent on Twitch, and I checked my internet speeds and they're where they should be. So Falstad and ETC, excuse me, picked up for Tricky Gooses, so stealing Falstad away from the opposing team. And Anduin says, "Steal my Falstad, I'll steal your Anduin," just like that. And Lunara from the Fishing Queen. So here we are into our last ban phase here. Tricky Gooses dropping game one on Alterac. Just could not secure kills. We'll see how they change that. Maybe ETC will help them do that. And now last ban. If it's a target. No, they had Li Ming last game, and they say we don't want to see it from the other team, so we're just going to get rid of it. All right. And Rhaegar banned out now, who was previously banned last game by, I believe, the Gooses, not the Dancers. Now we have our next picks coming up for Tricky Gooses. That was their only second game loss of the season. As I mentioned, both these teams are undefeated in their matches. Dahaka Greymane picked up for Tricky Gooses. So with Tiny Dancers winning, they are one win closer to remaining undefeated. Tricky Gooses one loss closer to dropping their first match of the season. Last picks coming up, Tiny Dancers. See how they close out. Mephisto and a Nubarak. I like it. Mephisto can be super oppressive right now. A Nubarak, so you have two stuns to follow up the baseline one single stun from Johanna or the root from Anduin. So we have a lot of CC early out of Tiny Dancers for Lunara and Mephisto to just work down. Last pick here, though, for Tricky Gooses. How do they counter this? What's the come? Oh, well, we need a healer. Which healer is it going to be? Brightwing. So we are going global with this match at NGS if you're Tricky Gooses with the Falstad, Dahaka, and Brightwing. Three globals. ETC essentially can get stage dive and be a fourth global every, I think that's 90 seconds for a cooldown, but here we go, game 2 B East, Tricky Gooses versus Tiny Dancers. We're going a Cursed Hollow. Thank you for waiting, thank you for being patient. I'm excited about no lag, let's go. And here we are.
Prepare yourself for battle.
Like I said, game 2. We're going with Tricky Gooses first here with Nanani on Greymane again. Duck onto ETC, Birdie onto Falstad, Wise onto Dahaka, Carpe Diem on the Brightwing. On the other side for the Tiny Dancers, Fishing Queen Lunara, Feldroth on Mephisto, Liddell, they're all stacked up, it's hard to tell their names, but it's looking like Liddell's going to be the Johanna. And then Silver AG on Anubarak and Materium on that Anduin. Looking at the picks or talents first, globes are going to be very important for ETC. We're looking at the globes as well for, is it globes or essence? Essence for Dahaka as they try to cheese that tower there on the top. Dahaka taking a ton of damage, and there's the tower damage. We did go bribe from Falstad. Globes are also going to be important for the Anubarak this game rather. We're going Hypershift at level 1 for the Brightwing. As the rotations are happening, looks like we're going to do a little Dahaka v Mephisto in the bot lane. Camps have spawned as we see Greymane already heading to the siege camp. The poke battle continues with the tanks in the mid lane. And then it looks like we have Anduin and Lunara working on the siege camp on their side. Poking continues bot. Poking continues top. Siege camp picked up for the Gooses. And now for Tiny Dancers, as they wrap up their siege camp. And Greymane immediately after grabbing that first camp heads to the Bruiser. I mean, you have all lanes being soaked. Brightwing just jumped to him to give him the heal he needed and help finish that camp. Are they going to scout this? Lunara getting close. And there it is. They're just going to back away. There's the retreat ping. Good call. Just a little too late by Tiny Dancers. So good job, Tricky Gooses, on getting that early. Level 4 is being picked up for both teams. As the poking continues bot, nice drag. Can't get him into the towers. That's the Dahaka special is, can I trick and juke them properly to drag them into my tower? So camp is pushing mid, and we see the Bruiser camp being picked up by Tiny Dancers, scouted by Duck. Anubarak immediately comes. Here's Johanna. He just gets out, seeing both tanks show up. It's just not worth it. Meanwhile, Mephisto having to leave bot lane to try and clear this. They're going to get a wall in both towers, but now in trouble is Duck. And there you go. Falls quickly. So a rough go here for Duck, who was Diablo 8 deaths last game. First blood in game 2. As we move on Wise, nice burrow to avoid the condemn. And it looks like that Tricky Gooses are just going to have to give Tribute 1 and clear and soak and wait for their ETC to come back. And here we go. Brightwing jumping mid. The poke continues. We don't have any big rotations. 7 being picked up. Almost about a half level lead here for Tricky Gooses. Even though they're down the 1 death, they got this mid wall and towers here, plus camps early. So we'll see how that pays off for them. 7's now available for Tiny Dancers.
I grow tired of your petty squabbling. Gather tribute. Earn my favor.
And now here we go. Tribute to both teams on level 7, kind of near the mid lane on the side of Tiny Dancers. Here comes ETC, pinging come help me. If he rotates this way, we'll get him. Tribute almost spawned. Here comes Mephisto. They already left though. There's the poly early. Here's Dahaka burrowing in. Grabs Anduin. But here's now the blink onto Greymane. Stun comes out. Big stun onto Johanna. She does have her Iron Skin available. Can they finish this? Poly hits, but they cannot finish the Johanna. She had Iron Skin available. There's the drag onto Lunara. Can they get Lunara? They can! A big kill after last game only having 1 kill. But the big power slide and the poly onto Mephisto. 2 kills for Tricky Gooses, saying we're not out of this yet. And they decide to capture the tribute. So, well played after missing that initial pick that looked like it was going to be right here. Scouting the boss is Liddell with the flashlight just to make sure. Smart. Greymane already back on Siege Camp. And so is Tiny Dancers on their Siege Camp. Wisp in position of the Tiny Dancer boss just in case. Siege Camp's picked up for both teams. As we continue on mid, we're going to have a Brightwing show up top to help harass the Johanna. She popped her Laws of Hope there. Ooh, and here comes the other members. Will the root hit? It will. Is the damage there? There's 1 stun. Ooh, there's the 2nd stun, but the tap and the self-heal from Brightwing enough to keep him alive. So a lot of resources used, and they say, let's just go boss. We know we pushed them back. They are now level 11 to, well, now level 9. So they don't want to fight here. Tribute is spawning in the lower part of the map. Falstad already in position. What is the reaction going to be as there's a siege camp pushing with 2 members of Tricky Gooses? Camp is almost picked up. Looks like tribute is just going to be given on the side of Tiny Dancers, saying we got to take boss and try and get a pick top. 4 members here. Oh, stage dive. I don't know how he got out of that with 1, 2, 3 stuns available, but he must have bailed pretty quick. So, see boss pushing top, Bruiser Camp pushing mid for Tricky Gooses, and they're also pushing bot lane, knowing all the members were just top. They're going to open their own boss lane here. Level 10's now picked up. We're going to go Consume Souls, Cocoon, wait on the others. But I didn't really go over it on the side of Tricky Gooses. It happened so quick, and then we're used so quick. Curse Bullet, Mighty Gust, Stage Dive, Adaption, Brightwing holding on to Hurl. Oh, and there's the Gust. Oh, and there's the slide with the Light Bomb to save that Brightwing. Brightwing finally decides to do Blink Heal. We're going to see Leaping Strike, Bless Shield, and Light Bomb round out the ults for Tiny Dancers. There's a slide from ETC to get away, but they dive right back onto him because that's what a Nubarak does. Tongue gonna miss there from Wise, as they have to defend this 2 levels down, Tiny Dancers, because if they just give it, that's a curse. And you don't want to be down 2 levels and just give that. So we're gonna see a lot of poking here. And there the poking goes. ETC leaves to go start clearing mid. I don't know if they're just hoping for 13. Oh, and here's the stage dive. Hits onto just the 1, slides through the Unstoppable, but also the Blessed Shield missed. Cocoon is down, Leaping Strikes onto Falstead. Now it might be time to retreat. Light Bomb goes out, hits onto 2 members. The charge, here comes the Consume Souls. Does a lot of damage, but does not secure the kill. But that'll secure the kill. So 2 deaths on the side of Tricky Gooses after that fight. So now the next fight is going to be a big one. Good on Duck, catching the Hearth from Anduin, making them stall out a little bit. Will he catch it again? No. He wanted it. You can tell he wanted to stop that Hearth.
Shall we see who
Level
gathers
13's
now
now picked up for Tricky Gooses, so now only up 1 level as opposed to 2, but they do have the talent advantage. This is going to be a big one. Siege Camp picked up by Birdie. Siege Camp also being picked up on the side of Tiny Dancers. Are they going to start Bruiser? The objective is right there. This could be scouted. Are we going boss? Both assassins. Oh, and here's Brightwing and ETC now. They decide to go boss. Are they going to give this? Are they just going to give a curse early? Being up almost 2 levels? They do. They give curse to take boss. Bold strategy. We'll see how it pays off for them. As 13's now being picked up for Tiny Dancers. So mid is the first clear with that Bruiser camp. Ooh, big curse bullet, then power slide to just clearing out that Anubarak. Now we're working on the Joe, but they're not the curse team. That's going to be Tricky Gooses. So they can't dive into towers right now. To hawk up a robot to clean up the siege giants, but the boss has made its way to the keep wall because that fort was already taken out by members of Tricky Gooses. Now clearing up top. Here's the big rotation though. 3 members onto. Oh, will the light bomb hit? No, it will not. Here comes Brightwing. Here we are. Ooh, the pull, but tower's not operating right now. Oh, ETC hits onto 2 members. There's the slide. Trying to get this Anduin is a Greymane. There he goes. Anduin down. Lunara here to give some peel. 5-on-4. The tongue hits onto Anubarak plus the poly, and they get another kill. And Jordamax, they feeling offended, being up 2 tributes. It's a risky call, but they literally have 4 globals, and it looks like it worked out for them. They did defend. They're now, well, 2 and change, really, levels ahead. They have gotten 2 more kills off of it, so it is working out for them with the 4 globals. You saw ETC clearing and then just stage diving in onto 2 members. So pulling off now, as they did as much damage as they could. Are we going to go to Bruiser Camp? It looks like Brightwing and Greymane are heading that way. Dahaka clearing top deep clear top, as he has no fort to run to. And here comes the rotation. First stun misses. Second stun dodged by the Burrow. Mephisto going to take Siege Camp during that top skirmish. Duck in position towards the boss of Tiny Dancers. He's just going to bail out. As Siege Camp was picked up and Bruiser Camp for Tricky Gooses, still with a 2-level lead, are going to push in here. Double stun. There's the gust, but not much as Johanna gets stuck on the fort. But that is a short cooldown. We still have 3 ults available on the side of Tricky Gooses. All the ults are available for Tiny Dancers, as the next tribute is in the bot kind of section on the side of Tricky Gooses. They say, we got siege giants, let's take this fort first. And the scout onto the boss is here. Members going for, there it is, there's their tribute. boss has been started, but this was scouted. Johanna's on her way. This is going to be a scout. Is this going to be a throw pit, though? Standing on it. Everyone dives on it. There's the power slide. There's the cocoon. Everyone standing on it. The knockback. Nanani's Greymane falls. Here's the ult from Mephisto. A Nubarak falls. Oh, captured. Stunned. Rooted is Lunara. The Tricky Gooses did it. They were able to capture after getting 2-1 kills. But can they get Johanna? They cannot. Able to get away even after the poly. So I guess that's where your 2-level lead really comes in handy in fights like that. And then being able to get the boss route onto Lunara, helping secure her death. And now pushing top, Dahaka able to just clear mid and then get tribute. Ooh, root onto Mephisto. There's the pull from Anduin. Are we trying to end? They're going to get this. They got the keep. And now there's the curse. But they just decide to back out and try and get more forts. Lazy Hydra, I don't know how Mephisto didn't kill them all. I think he was just a hair early. On his ult there. Oh, there's the dive. Light bomb. Hits onto Dahaka. Peels there. Gust. Adaption popped as well. So Dahaka's just going to heal right up. As we are now taking vision away from the dancers. As they cleared up all their lanes now. Well, here's another wave coming mid. And they say, let's take boss again. So another boss. This will be the third boss of the game for Tricky Gooses as they now hit level 20. And what is level 20 is going to be? Wind Tunnel, Hunter's Blunderbuss, Essence Claws, Brightwing ETC waiting. If we're going to see a death metal, yes we are. The just in case level 20. We're going to see Fairy Protector for Brightwing. So again, maintaining this 2-level lead now is Tricky Gooses. Boss. Oh, and here's the stage dive. Oh, the stun hits Nubrak. Now he's rooted, and the pull is not there in time. Unfortunate timing for Nubrak to dive on that ETC just to get stunned and rooted by the boss. But the core doing its best to defend. Light bomb hits onto 2 members. Boss still going to town on the core. 40%, 30%. There's the wind tunnel as we focus the core. Game 2 goes to Tricky Gooses. Game 2, Tricky Gooses. So coming back hard. DB Smile, you think boss is a throw pit? Have you seen cursed core mechanics? I have. This is probably the most, well, one of the most annoying core. The one that turns you to stone is pretty troublesome as well, but I mean, if they wiped there, if Tiny Dancers wiped there instead of just losing 2 members, that would have been game right then and there with a boss pushing all your members dead for 40 seconds and a 4-man still alive for Tricky Gooses, but it didn't happen either way as Tricky Gooses come back big in game 2 after a tough game 1. And I'm being told that the Tiny Dancers want map pick. So we are moving right along. As I'm going to message the teams and make sure we're all on the same page here. Oh, kids, women, children, everyone watching, we're going to my favorite map. So let's update some stats real quick as Tricky Gooses are now 11-2 games. Tiny Dancers are now 13-2. And we are going to go to my favorite map, Towers of Doom, picked by the Tiny Dancers. So I'm excited. This map is made for comebacks. Towers is. I should be clear. So I'm really excited to see how these teams play it. Are we going to get some off lane soak? One person soaking the lane and four pushing bot and kind of a four-man, a four-man ram because it's not really an A ram because it's not all down the bot as we control the camps. I don't know. Are we going to see a six cap? Again, I think this map is probably the most popular. I don't know, popular is the word, but most prevalent with comebacks. So Tricky Gooses will have first pick, and we're getting teams in the lobby right now. As I'm just sending out information in the NGS. Oh, gotta start swapping teams. They all joined so fast. Well, they all joined so fast because they must be ready to have a game 3 here after a great game 2 performance from Tricky Gooses. How do Tiny Dancers get back on track? So it looks like all members are in game, and we'll see what happens here. Again, thank you for coming, everyone. Thank you for waiting and working through. That was a weird internet issue where I just had, a very, very slow connection all of a sudden for some reason. So thanks for hanging in there, but everything seems to be fine for game 2. And we're seeing if both teams are ready. Ooh, there's the ready up from Tiny Dancers. And there's the ready up from Tricky Gooses. So we're just getting right into it. So here we go. The final game for Div B East tonight, or of this match. Tricky Gooses, Tiny Dancers, both teams undefeated in their matches. This decides who's walking away with the first L, who will remain undefeated in their matches. And we're going to my favorite map, you guys. I'm hype. I am hype. I am literal hype right now. But first, let's get through the draft. Let's get some bands in here. First band coming out for Tricky Gooses. We saw Garrosh twice in a row get banned. Are we waiting just to ban him again? Are we changing it up? Nope. We are holding on. So we're ban Garrosh, sticking with it. And there's the Johanna ban, saying they're scared, must be scared of the first pick because they had Johanna last game. So worried about the first pick, Johanna. Falstad banned out. So, again, interesting. They had Falstad last game. So, yeah, Falstad was picked by Tricky Goose's game 2 because they had the globals. Picked game 1 on Tiny Dancers, and now he's banned out. But we're just going to pick ETC first. DB Smiley, I do think Tiny Dancers tried to be too clever in draft last game. Get away from double tank and just play their game. Let's see if they're watching or listening and listen to you there, DB. But we are going to have Arthas first, which seemed to really work in game 1 for them. Anduin as well. as your healer. As we move back over to Tricky Gooses, if they're going to stick with... I wonder if we see a Greymane ban next, or if we see a Greymane pick here. Leoric is being picked again. And Nanani switching up things. Played Greymane the last 2 games, says now it's time for Vala, so I guess we're not worried about a Greymane. DB not often they get a macro like that. I think it's mostly attributed to draft. Double tank is what they play usually though, so we'll see what they do here. I know chat's interested in how Tiny Dancers fills out this team. Abathur banned, smart. When you see that Vala, you get a hyper carry with that Abba. I mean, on towers you need a lot of survivability, so I wonder if double tank is the well. Then you're gonna need some wave clear if it's gonna be a, like I mentioned at the beginning, if we're gonna see a 1 top or like a double soaking, like Leor will probably double soak, and then we'll see 4 bot. So we'll see what happens here. And Imperius and Kael'thas. So Kael'thas was a big factor in that game 1. So we'll see if Kael'thas will be a big factor in game 3 if he's just sitting near that every altar that spawns. Greymane still picked, this time by Carpe, and the heals are going to be from Birdie. Saying the new pick was a bit weird without huge follow-up. They didn't have an assassin to dive. Well, Lunara leaping strikes. I think they really only pulled that off once last game when they made a pick in a off lane. So let's see how they close out here with their damage. And there's Lunara again. So, little switch up here. Vala on... Oh, no. Are they switching? Okay. Greymane will be played by Nanani for the 3rd game. And just the... Wow, really switching around there. Carpe will be on heals, so... All's well for Tricky Gooses, Tiny Dancers. Holding pat. Game 3 hype. Let's go. And here we are, game 3. So again, they were kind of switching around a little bit at the end there. Tricky Gooses was Duck on ETC, Birdie on Vala, Carpe Diem on Rhaegar, Wise on Leoric, Nanani on Greymane for the 3rd game in a row. And on the other side for Tiny Dancers, Feldroth on Kael'thas, Fishing Queen on Lunara, Liddell on Imperius, Silver on Arthas, and Materium on that Anduin. And here we go. We are seeing Prog Rock again early from ETC. Mana Addict again from the Kael'thas, previously from game 1. And the split happens quickly for Gooses as Leoric is top and showing. And here's the response as Kael'thas starts heading bot. So we're sending 4 members bot. Here comes 2 members of Tricky Gooses holding it down. 2 members mid. As it looks like there's just a lot of rotating happening right now, as opposed to having a double soaker. The 4 members are double soaking, and look at that CC chain. Oh, that hit 3 health. That ETC, did anyone else see that? Just hit 3 health. With the death coil from Arthas trying to secure the kill, was 3 HP away. But that stun chain of, or CC chain of a Arthas root, Anduin root, stun from Imperius, stun from Kael'thas is going to be tough. There's the stun. There's the root. Will Carpe fall? He will fall. A lot of poison damage from the Lunara and oral damage over time from Lunara and Kael'thas, and the siege camp steal is complete. They're going to try and clear it up before it gets any value beyond, stealing an XP in the kill. Here comes Imperius, try and poke them away from it. And it looks like they might get one shot. Yeah, one sapper makes it through, and then they just decide to grab their own camp. In the top is Leoric. Lunara has now rotated mid to clean up. Level 4s here for Tiny Dancers. And we'll see what level 4s are we going here. Rhaegar looking all into that Storm Shield build. Ooh, Arthas here. Scouted. There it is. Stun. Gets away. Oh no. But the root. The double root. Can he? No, he cannot get away. It looked like ETC slid one way to escape, and then Rhaegar went the other way, and the split was allowed Tiny Dancers to get a kill. And Pierce is so insane. I feel like if you know how to play him, he is OP right now. Example, I don't know how to play him, so I am terrible with him. But I play against Imperiuses, and I can get wrecked. So the counter pick there on the Imperius, as 3 altars have spawned, and picked up mid is the Nani. Tricky Gooses. Wise trying to capture their own top, but the poke was there from Lunara. She pulls back after seeing the rotation was coming. So 2 altars to 1 for Tricky Gooses. As the poke battle now continues. We're going to have a rotation bot. Are we setting up again? This Arthas is out front, hiding in the bushes, running into ETC. There's the knockback. 7's now available for Tiny Dancers. Now Tricky Gooses, there it is. Oh, we're going to see some splintered spear from Lunara. Blaze of Glory for Imperius. We did get a cleanse from Rhaegar to try and help with that CC chain we talked about earlier. A lot of damage though onto Imperius. The pull was there for Anduin. Hammer on, my favorite level 7 ability from ETC. As ETC just trying to poke. Dude, nice juke. Slide out. Very nice work there from Duck. Juking one root and stunning to keep them away from the camp. As it is now picked up. Oh, in a precarious position now. Oh, the cleanse was there early to get out of the Imperius stun. Halfway to his globe quest. And now we have altars spawning both in the top lane. It looks like Lunara and Leo are going to poke mid while camp is being picked up by Tiny Dancers. Have some kind of counter push. Can we get onto Lunara? Yes, they can though. So that's another kill for the Gooses. Camp picked up. Whoops, camp. Alright, so the camp of the Tricky Gooses hits. Can we capture this in time? They can. Altar steal complete, and they grab their own. So another 8 shots onto the core of Tiny Dancers. But slight XP lead is in favor of Tiny Dancers. Oh, there's one stun, there's one root. The slide to get away. As we have 4 members in the bot for both teams now. Waiting on level 10. Lunara and Leoric doing the poke dance mid. As that was I'm rotating. No, I'm rotating. Like, Arthas and ETC kind of locked in step there for a moment of who's going top and who's going bot. Just really equal teams tonight. as level 10 has been picked up for Tiny Dancers just a hair before Tricky Gooses. Oh, there's stun, knockback, stun hit misses from Kael'thas. And we're going to see Pyroblast, Army of the Dead, Thornwood Vine, Angelic Armaments, and Light Bomb. Strafe, Bloodlust, Cursed Bullet, Mosh Pit, and Entomb. So a lot of ways to hold a team down with Mosh Pit and Entomb. Of course, Anduin on the side of Tiny Dancer. Oh, here's the stun. There's the root. Light Bomb stun. Mosh. Bloodlust goes out. There's the Entomb. Entombs some of its own members, though. Nanati very low on the back line. Falls. Who will fall next here? That's going to be Rhaegar. Wise trying to get out. The Pyroblast has been cast. Leoric falls, and the Pyroblast actually hits onto ETC. Able to survive, though. A 3 for none. Luckily, one altar. So they're only going to get 4 shots to catch up here. Making up for it, they're going to try and steal camp. And imagine try and just jam this down bot. Try and get this bottom tower out of the way. And here's Arthas. All ults have been used except for Mosh, Cursed Bullet, and Strafe. There's Mosh! The stun from Kael'thas was there as the tower starts focusing Arthas down, and he falls. What a back and forth there. The Mosh came out pretty quick there from ETC, and Kael'thas was right there able to stop it with Gravity Lapse. And now camp being stolen by Tricky Gooses. They're going to try and work down this tower. There's your front tower. Oh, and there they go. You got 2 sappers onto that bottom tower. So, but the bottom tower for Tricky Gooses is very low right now. It almost looks like Arthas was trying to chase the whole team there, but they peel off and they just leave their bot fort completely vulnerable because they rotated completely. Were they trying to take boss? I don't know if Leo can do it by himself, but now we're going to have a full rotation to the boss. Down a level, or down a talent, with Tiny Dancers having level 13, and they pull off it, knowing the altars are about to spawn. If they were going to try and take that boss, and if they lost the fight, it would have been big trouble because you lose a boss and then 2 altars. But here we go. Oop, there's roots and stuns down. There's Bloodlust popped. Here's the Entomb. Pyroblast comes out onto the ETC. He falls. There's the pull onto Imperius. Get him out of there after he's done, CCing everybody, putting his brand on everything and everyone. Root hits again onto 2 members. They have not captured the altar just yet. He's going to Wraith Walk the way from there for Leo. Vala trying to shoot over the wall maybe. Does not get it. 5 shots on core for Tiny Dancers. And they're going to get another 5. So what a swing there, because the bot tower was in control of Tiny Dancers. 10 shots onto the core. Just really equaling up the game. 24 health, 22 core health now. And are we going to see, as they try and clear this up, are we going to see an invade? Yes, we are. Tiny Dancers are going to want to hold this. This is what got them back into the game. And now they have Sapper camps pushing, as Leo has successfully pushed back Lunara, forcing a tap in the mid. Here come the Sappers. Opes the knockback. Are we going to see a Mosh? Light Bomb comes out. Misses. Here comes Strafe to help clear up that wave. And there you go. Sappers are dead. As the members of Tiny Dancers pulling off. Army of the Dead was popped during that push to keep Arthas alive and in it. And I guess soak some AoE, soak some shots there from the tower. I'm not sure. He didn't look like he was that desperate for health. But Light Bomb also down now as well. And strafe on the side of Tricky Gooses, so 4 ults still available, but the ult that's really been paying dividends, I'd say, is the Thornwood Vine and Pyroblast on the side of Tiny Dancers. Pyroblast first pushing ETC back and then getting a kill the second time around. Thornwood Vine just poking. Here comes Bloodlust. All of it going on to Arthas, who had no Army of the Dead, but did have a pull. Mosh misses completely. There's the Light Bomb onto Kilthas, misses. But chasing down Kilthas is Birdie on Vala. Cannot get it. In top is Vala, stealing the tower from Tricky Gooses. Tricky Gooses do get the bottom tower that spawned in the very bottom lane. And here, trying to capture. Is Leoric going to make it in time? Oh, barely. By a frame. Anduin has fallen the bot lane to Vala. Where's Vala? There she is. So with that Anduin death, oh, barely again, almost stopping that. So 16 core health for Tiny Dancers, 18 for Tricky Gooses, and they're gonna go boss, knowing there's no healer, knowing a lot of ults were just used. And there it is, there's boss. So now down to 12 core health is Tiny Dancers. Assuming no sappers get in or towers, that's 3 more altars. And I guess we haven't shown which altars are going to spawn just yet on the map, as the tunnels have opened to open up that, from core to mid quick. Ooh, stun, curse bullet immediately. There's Bloodlust again. There's the pull from Anduin to save Arthas. But now, out of position a little bit is the Imperius. Pops his ult. Stun comes out. Doesn't get to use the ult because he was stunned. Light Bomb misses. So a lot of ults to use there. Bloodlust on the side of Tricky Gooses. And then Light Bomb and Angelic Armaments for the Tiny Dancers, as Kael'thas makes quick work of that siege camp that was going to push, the Sapper camp rather. Cleanse immediately onto Greymane. 1 altar spawning. Looks like all 5 members. Oh, Mosh is available and Tomb is available. Oh, which way are they going to go here? Waiting for the stuns. Gets 2. Here comes the Entomb. Here comes the Pyro. Oh, Imperius and ETC fall. And Lunar. Look at the poison damage, though. And the fire from all that Kael'thas damage. There goes Leoric. A 3 for 2. Root misses. And it is 1 altar. What a fight. All the just with the Entomb and Mosh keeping everyone so close together, and Tricky Gooses just diving in to try and secure kills. I mean, Kael'thas just had a field day, especially with this Pyroblast hitting onto multiple people. What a fight. Of course, Tiny Dancers capturing the altar. 14 core health, 12 core health now. What a game. Kael'thas value, like, whoa, man. Just everyone grouped up in a huge Pyroblast. Not to mention spreading the Living Bomb and the Flame Strike. Wow. So both teams still level 18. Rhaegar really committing to the Lightning Shield build, as, ooh, Wise barely makes it out. He taps just to be safe. 2 sappers are going to make it in. On that bot, but both teams level 18. And it looks like we're posturing for Siege Camp. Bloodlust is available, so is Cursed Bullet. So everything but Mosh right now. In total, all the ults are available for Tiny Dancers. This could be the fight if this gets engaged. 2 altars are spawning. Looks like it was leashed. And it looks like Tiny Dancers just get in position. Captured is their camp to add some added pressure to the bot lane. It looks like both teams... Oh no, looks like Tiny Dancers Oh, there we go in. Gonna drop this menu here. Wise almost capturing it, but Imperius just walks up and tags him. No one focusing middle altar. Everyone focusing the bot, but this is easier to defend. ETC is searching, stunning, two-man, Pyro again, kills ETC, Imperius falls, Anduin falls. There's the Entomb, misses, Greymane falls, Arthas falls, 3 for 3, Lunara and Kael'thas. Oh, 3 for 2, excuse me. Will we get this capture? No, we will not. Vala able to get poked off it. Rhaegar says, back up, I'm going to grab mid. 20's picked up. Leoric falls, but they get the altar. But now it's 2-on-2 with a annoying, spooky ghost. As, can't get the stun was good there. Hungry Arrow doing its thing. Pops the shield is Kael'thas. And wow, tricky Gooses get both altars there after going trading 3 for 3 there. Staggering both teams. Vala and Rhaegar able to hold off Kael'thas Lunara. So next altar will win it for Tricky Gooses, assuming they don't lose any towers. Boss is available. Leoric now about to spawn just in time. Both teams at level 20. We're going to see for Vala, Farflight Quiver, Gladiator's War Shout for Rhaegar, Hunter's Blunderbuss, Death Metal, and Buried Alive. That Death Metal, he's been getting focused, that ETC, with Pyroblast a lot. So if it happens again, Bloodlust used, Army popped, oh, and 2 misses. We do have Buried Alive, but Anduin wasn't in it, so he was able to pull Arthas to safety. On the other side, Flamethrower, Anti-Magic Shell, Forest Wrath, Heavenly Host, and Glyph of Faith. As we are just now clearing. So, again, there are 2 altars. Is it 3? I can't see. Oh, here we go. Here's the fight. Light Bomb hits onto 1. Duck on the back line. Cast Smosh. Birdie trying to dish it all out. There's the 1 kill. There's the double kill. Imperius and Kael'thas falling. The slide is still there to kill Anduin. 2 altars are spawning, and 3 members are dead for Tiny Dancers. Feldroth throwing out the GG with 10 seconds left to altars. GG's being thrown out. Will they even try to stop it and go for broke? They will not. Vala is poking away. GG Tricky Gooses. Boom. What a comeback after a just rough game 1. Able to remain undefeated in their matches is Tricky Gooses. What a game. I'm going to try and get an interview from someone from Tricky Gooses. If you have questions for them, please put them in the chat and I'll make sure to ask them. There's your stats. Both teams, 12 kills, 64 hero damage from Vala. Kael'thas, again, leading the way with 74,000 hero damage. Vala unable to be killed, so shout out to Birdie, 5-6-0 on the side of Tiny Dancers. Kael'thas was able to live a very long time, only falling once, going 5-7-1, having the most hero damage in game. What a incredible set from both teams. Just, I mean, B East showing up big in a lot of these recent games. And I'm going to adjust scores one more time here. So that's the new record. I have an interview coming. Stand by with Duck. Let's see what room we're going to. So let's see if we can get an interview here. Duck, are you there?
Yo.
Wow. How you feeling after that?
Oh, we're hyped. Super hyped.
Super hyped. So let's go. Let's just go through it here, and we're gonna start at game one. What what was going on game one with Diablo there?
Oh, they just had a ridiculous front line where their plan, I think, was to isolate me every time and then just sleep the back, and it worked really well.
And
We figured after running Abathur Samuro last week, we couldn't do it, and we didn't, and it kind of backfired some.
well, you're right. I think even chat picked up on that, mentioning the Abathur Samuro, and yeah, I mean, just I've I've never
When
seen a Diablo so isolated like that, but they
they
were just
chose to
on
bring us
top of it.
there, we knew they had some plan for it, so we were like, we'll just back off of that.
So when a game goes like that in that game one, where you're playing Diablo, you have 8 deaths, your team only has 1 kill, and you're going into game two. What's the team talking about to get ready for game two?
Well, we're ignore that game, move on to the next game. Hey, we're getting our ass kicked in kills. Let's just not fight them. Let's take a million globals and global pressure them.
And game two was on to Cursed Hollow. And I think it was last week you had a similar game on Cursed where it was just super macro heavy, giving curses at one point and then going backdoor. Is that the map you feel most confident on now, Cursed Hollow?
It's one of them. I think any of the bigger maps where we can try to play a macro game, we feel pretty confident on. Just knowing how Tiny Dancers drafts, they pick two pretty beefy players every time, like Imperius and Mal'Ganis or ETC or Johanna. Like it's always two big, hard, impossible to kill people. So the best way to beat that, we thought, is just try to out macro.
And you did just that, ended up taking, I think it was a total of 3 bosses there. You had that huge boss fight on their side right before uh, you guys got cursed. Did you not feel you could end with the boss at that curse? Was that just a team discussion of, hey, play it easy, or what was going on there?
I don't remember exactly where it was at that point. I think we were close to getting a curse at that point.
I think you
So
took the boss
we
and you stole their boss, and I think you got 2 kills off it, and then Greymane died on your side. And then you were able to kind of push with it, and Dahaka grabbed the tribute and got
right.
Curse.
So we thought the best thing to do was take as many structures as we could, just keep the pressure on, and then make it so they just couldn't wave clear, and eventually we'd win somewhere else.
And
Seemed like it worked out.
you certainly did. And then going into game three, Tiny Dancers pick Towers of Doom, my favorite map. What's Tricky Goose's feelings on that map?
We tell all the teams to take us there if they want to beat us, and they just think I'm being sarcastic. Um,
well, I mean, let the record show.
Well, yeah. Well, because of that, though, we do spend a lot of time practicing Towers of Doom and trying not to leave bottom lane. Because we've lost, back in Heroes Lounge, we lost a one-shot core game from letting one pumpkin through at the end while wiping their whole team. So we've tried to be very disciplined on that map, but it's still tough for us.
hmm And now, as when you're on ETC, obviously Cursed Hollow, you went stage dive to have the global pressure. You go mosh on Towers of Doom. Do you still feel you get the worth when they have a lot of interrupts to counter it? Do you still feel you get that from ETC going mosh?
Well, Tiny Dancers, their biggest strength, I think, is how great they are at chaining their CC together. They're
Yeah.
ridiculous at it and getting kills. So my thought process was, if they're trying to waste their CC on a kill, they can't interrupt Mosh. If they want to interrupt Mosh, they're not getting a kill. And then my thought was, if we're post 20, I'm going Death Mosh, and I'm suiciding myself here, especially with Pyroblast. Like, let me get a Mosh for even 2 seconds, and then a Death Mosh on it, and I'm happy.
Yeah, and I've noticed that early with China Dancers with their CC chain. I think they picked Rhaegar early twice in that Towers game where it was just like root, root, stun, stun, dead. And then
Yeah.
as a fellow ETC player, I too love yelling out to my team that I went death metal and I made suicide. So I'm right there with you on that, sir.
Oh, Yep, that's all I kept telling them. Let him kill me like I did Diablo. Let him kill me.
Yeah, and the Pyroblast, I think, got you twice, didn't it, on that last
I think
map?
so. I know. The weird thing is we talked about how he doesn't pick Pyroblast. He normally goes Phoenix. So then when he was like, "Oh nope, here it is," I'm like, "All right, I'm going Deathmatch for sure now."
Yeah, and then as it's leading down to that final fight where they have 4 core health, everyone's kind of, I think, in the bot lane there. Is it fight now? Is that the premise, just to make them, just to win the game there? Because if you win the fight, you'll kind of win the game. Or was it just it kind of happened that way and you just went for it?
We heard we had cooldowns, and I made the call like go bottom, and saw because I saw Arthas mid, and the second I saw Anduin pop on blip in by Arthas, everyone just back, everyone go top, forget bottom. So and then we saw the leap of faith get wasted. We saw that, and we were like, we could re-engage bottom now. They're finally split when they were moving like a death ball. That was the first time I think all game we actually saw them split up. So we wanted to take advantage of it as quick as we could.
And I'll tell you what, it worked for you. That was just a thrilling series there, and both teams going into this with only one dropped game, undefeated in matches. Your team remains undefeated in their matches, only dropping 2 games now. I mean, Tricky Goose is just riding high right now.
Oh yeah, everyone's hyped. No, none of us are gonna settle down for a bit.
Well, you know what? Go back to your team and enjoy it, celebrate, do what you do. Thanks for letting me cast. Thanks for coming for the interview. Do you got any shout outs before I let you go?
Oh, our team, awesome. A lot of things that we did there, possibly switching up stuff in that last draft. We had people picking things that they weren't gonna play likely, and then switching it up. So Birdie making a last-second call to do Vala, feeling confident on it, really paid off. Thank you for casting. I love when you're casting for us. I can't wait to go back and rewatch it. And Tiny Dancers, shout out to them, man. That was a hell of a series, and I don't know the last time we had that much fun in a series.
I absolutely agree. Thank you to Tiny Dancers if they're fans or they are watching. Thanks for the shout out, man. It was a great, thrilling game. So cast you guys anytime. Cast Tiny Dancers anytime. That was great. So Duck, I'll see you on the flip side and go have fun with your team.
All right, have a good night.
You too. So there you have it from the last remaining undefeated team in B East, Tricky Gooses. That's their captain, Duck. I mean, what a set. This video will remain on my Twitch for 14 days, and I'll get this probably, tomorrow at some point onto YouTube. So you can search for it there. Just thank you for coming. Thanks for the game one help as I was troubleshooting my issues. Wow, Tricky Goose's Tiny Dancers really made up for it there with great game three, great best of 3 series. So congratulations, Tricky Gooses. Thank you, Tiny Dancers. Thank you to everyone in chat who came, contributed, and was talking and hanging out. I really do greatly appreciate it. Thanks to all the new subs who were talking in chat as well. I do appreciate it. I'll be casting more NGS games coming up this week. I'm going to see if I can set up a raid, see what else is going on in NGS tonight, but that'll be it for me. So thanks, and have a great night. Hang out if you want to catch a raid.